Why aren't we doing? Hello? What's going on?
I don't know to you. Why is you have to check while ago? What did-
Okay, they got us. And why did the chat go away? Dude, I can't win. I don't know how many. We got one person watching, that's me. And the chat, I had the chat set up here and that went away. Hey Peter, how you doing, man? How you doing? Hopefully you're having a good day. Hey Jeff, what's up, Jeff? I had everything set up, man. Everything is set up for the chat and everything like that. As soon as I started streaming, the chat went away. Wait a minute.
Even I cannot go in.
So I don't know what the deal is, folks.
Still waiting.
Hey Misha, how you doing? Misha's here.
Yeah, Misha, good morning.
It's not going well. I think we're gonna have to go to. We use OBS for streaming. Okay. I think we need to go to. I think StreamYard. StreamYard is free to also. Well, you can pay for it, but you get. If you don't pay for it, you don't get all the special bells and whistles.
Mm-mm.
All right. But you can. You'll get the basic, basically. Well, I hope everybody's doing good. Oh, I hate this, man. I hate have to look down. Well, it's a Sunday.
Good morning, Peter.
So, Misha, your son graduated, huh? Is he going to go to college? No, I don't even know if college is even worth it anymore. You know? Well, you see a lot of people as far as going to college and they can't find a job.
Yeah, exactly.
And a lot of them get student loans.
Even you have a
Hold on, folks. No, you're fine.
you graduated with degree. If there is no work, it's useless.
Exactly. You know, like I said, they get these student loans
Mm-hmm.
and they got to pay on, and the Department of Education is going after the people that haven't been paying on their loans and just taking the money from them. I don't know what to think anymore, man. I don't know what to think anymore.
Hey, everywhere, everywhere.
Yeah, online education. That's what was it? Phoenix. I think Phoenix has got a big online, platform for online education. I don't think anything's wrong with it. Just like I don't think anything's going wrong with going to a community college. I know like I said before, I know the people that go to the universities, the well-known ones look down on them, but it's an education.
It's much better to after the graduate after you graduate grade 12 find a job rather than spend this all money to in order to finish your degree.
See, when I was going to school, I can only
Mm.
early '80s and '70s. They used to have what they would they call it a vote. I don't even know if they exist anymore. Votex. And what it is, either in the morning or the afternoons, you would go to this school. It's called Votech, and you would learn a trade. They had like mechanic. I mean anything that had to do with your hands.
Mhm.
They had it there. I don't know if they shut them down or whatever. You know what? But
So
here,
stick.
I don't understand your educational system here because it seems like kind of like in the states, is these kids go to these universities for and then when they get out, they work at McDonald's or something like
Yeah,
that.
you
You
know
know?
some after they graduated in college, there is no job. There's no choice. Maybe I I think I think it's not. I'm not sure, but I think they are all tired to seeking a job here in Philippines. So that's why many graduated uh, going to overseas.
Well, believe it or not, and you even said it. The people who have money here in the Philippines. They don't go to universities here in the Philippines. They go abroad. Like a lot of your doctors and dentists, they either go to the UK or they go to the United States. And some go for dentistry. Some go to India to learn dentistry. They don't learn it here. Not all of them. Okay, not all of them. But especially if they want to specialize in something like cardiac or whatever, cancer or whatever, they'll go to like the England or United States. Miles's bone doctor, he went to
UK,
no, was it the UK or was it the United States?
UK and United States.
He did both. I mean,
Yeah. Harvard, I think.
I'm not sure where we didn't get that deep, but a lot of them they don't they don't get further education as far as getting a degree MD. If they want to specialize, they'll go abroad.
Mm.
And keep in mind, man, it's not the doctors that practice medicine here. They're intelligent people. It's not the doctors. It's the equipment that the hospitals
Equipment.
have.
Yeah, you're right.
A lot of times they don't have the equipment. They can't afford it. They can't afford it because the healthcare system here. I don't know. From what I ran up against, what do they call it? Public health? No,
Public and
Phil
private.
health.
Phil
Phil
health.
health.
Yeah, okay.
They still owe us money, and we'll probably never see it. You
That's it.
know,
Yeah.
from the first time Miles was in the hospital when they found that large mass in her neck.
Mm.
Okay, we would just pay now, and Phil Health will pay you later. Well, we never got it, and it was over 350,000. You know, we never got it. What? Who is that? Das Bagos?
Yeah.
Bagos? Am I saying that right? Thank you, Das, for the super chat. Das Bagos.
Hello, Bobby.
$100, dude. You sure you can give that much? I'm joking. Thank you very much. But like I said, it's not the doctors here. 99% of it. It's just like the
It's not the
states. You got your
doctor.
good doctors, you got your bad doctors. Let's be real about this, okay? And I'm pretty sure the UK is the same way. You got your good doctors, you got your bad doctors, okay? And here, it's not the doctor, it's the equipment. They don't have the equipment. Now, from what I heard, Clark, the hospital at Clark, the old air base, Clark
Yeah,
Air
yeah.
Base. Okay, they got a hospital there, and those supposed to be about as modern as you can get. All right, but a lot of these small, like where we live,
Yeah.
privately owned,
Private. Yeah.
and a lot of people here, when you talk to them, you say, you could have a private hospital that's 10 miles away, and you can have a public hospital that's 5 miles away. What hospital do you think they're going to go to?
If you can still manage to go to that 100 miles away, which is public, you go. If you cannot manage anymore and it's really emergency, so you take that 500, that 50 miles away,
For what? Public or private?
private,
Every hospital you've been to, it was a private hospital.
private, yeah.
We went to what's the one in Badak? The one you went to, Badak or Saint Nicholas? Okay, Loab.
Lawag, San Nicolas.
Okay,
That is private.
the name of the hospital.
Black Nazarene.
Yeah, it was the Black Nazareth. That was a private hospital.
Mm.
But they had a lot of labor problems there. In other words, the nurses were basically working for free, and a lot of them were bailing. They were quitting, which I don't blame them, okay? And that's supposed to be ran by doctors, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
And associates
yeah, and then there's a hospital in, what's the one south of us?
and
Corpus?
Sinait. Yeah, Corpus Hospital.
Okay, that's a private hospital. That's a family-owned hospital.
Family.
Now, they're okay. I mean,
Yeah.
the owner is always there. He's the duty greeter. Okay.
The only problem is they don't have ICU.
Yeah, they don't have an ICU.
And ICU is very important also in one
Yeah,
hospital.
it can be. But they got her doctor there, the bone doctor, and they have neurologists there, and they have other doctors there.
Yeah.
But like I said, it's not the doctor; it's the equipment they have to work with. Now, the private hospital, not the private. I'm sorry, the public hospital. Which one? Then Marcos.
Yeah. Mariano Marcos Memorial Hospital.
Yeah, and how far is that up the road? About 30 minutes?
30 minutes.
30 minutes, but every time you go by there, man, there's like a long line outside, a long line waiting to get in. So if you're going to go to there, you pack a lunch. You know what I'm saying? Because it's crazy. Is that a good hospital or not?
And he said it is good, but of course it's also different with that private. So that private is much better also.
Yeah, because also keep in mind with these public hospitals, you got a lot of doctors in training.
Yeah.
So,
They said
and I am pretty sure that there is so many patients there. These doctors, the doctors have been through all this, all the training. They're overwhelmed. So you got a doctor that's in training, diagnosing you, which in the real world they should check with the doctor that's a full doctor. Do you think they're really checking all the time? You know.
I don't know what to say because I haven't.
Yeah, we
You haven't.
every time the 2 times that Myles had to go in the hospital. Okay, everybody told us, hey, go to. I honestly believe that the one up north, I think they kind of skin taxed us. You know what I mean? Oh, there's an American. Bing, bing, payday. That's my opinion. I have no, that's just my opinion. I think we were scared. I think we paid a little bit more than we should have. Hey, Bobby Burton. Yeah, Arkansas, huh?
Arkansas.
Isn't that the land of the Clintons? Yeah, everybody, give me a thumbs up, man. Don't be haters. What?
To buy more yellow notepads.
Yeah, buy more yellow. Yeah, I got that. Yeah, I'm telling you, man.
Yeah.
If you ever decide, let me tell you something from my experience. All right. If you ever decide to come live in the Philippines and you got things going back on your own country that you can take care of here, get yourself a printer/scanner. I'm telling you. And also, I use iFax, all right, because the fax paperwork and stuff that through. Because these people, I had something last week. I already had the printer scanner, okay, but I was ignorant and I didn't know anything about iFax or anything like that. So I went down to one of these stationery stores and I think I paid 2 pesos per page, which is not much. It's a penny or whatever. That doesn't matter. The paperwork that I was faxing was pretty important, or I wouldn't have been faxing it. Well, they told me, yeah, they got it, and I got a receipt. You know how you get the cover page and it tells you the transmission and all this other garbage. Well, it's not garbage, but well, guess what? The person I faxed it to, they never got it. So iFax, it tells you if you got it, and they give you a transmission sheet. And also, you can be on the phone during that time because the fax goes through the internet. They say, yeah, we got it, and you're good. You don't find out, whenever. Yeah, it's just I'm just telling you, man. You got to keep the lines of communication between, even though you're like whatever country you're in, uh, the lines of communication between you and the country
The
that you're
country.
coming from. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Misha, I still like that name, Misha. If I had a little girl now, I name her Misha.
Good day, Marlon and Gina. Is from Texas. Yes, you know. I think they are new subscribers.
Yeah, hey Jeff. Yeah, see what I'm saying? Like he was saying, his son graduated with a master's in English and he's selling insurance. I don't think that's a bad. Insurance guys make good money, but it's still, Does he? I hope he doesn't. He doesn't owe anybody any money. Like a student loan or anything like that. Hey, Marlon and Gina. What part of Texas you from? Yeah, I have a son that lives in is it Clayton or Clinton? I'm not sure. It's like I-40 exit. I'm gonna say 100 or 99, but I don't think it is. I think it's lower, maybe 140. I'm not sure. Yeah, I like Texas. Texas is a big state. Big.
Texas.
It takes you all day to drive from the far east to the far west of Texas. It'll take you all day. Sometimes it'll take you a day and a half.
Ohio.
And once you get the farther west you get, there's nothing. There's nothing there.
No more. No houses. Something like
Well,
that. No road
houses,
building.
ranchers and stuff like that, houses here and there, but not
It's
like
not.
once you get out of Houston and Dallas and them areas like that. The towns get smaller and smaller the farther you drive.
But you know what? I want to stay the smaller towns.
I like smaller towns. Growing up in the area that I did, it's just yeah. There's a lot more to do in a city, but then also you got your pros and cons. All right, me personally, that's why we live in Badak. I didn't want to live like in Cebu or anything like that because number one, or Dumaguete, because it's just a lot of garbage goes on there.
Hey, good morning, Beth.
Who's Beth?
Beth Rubio. She's in California.
Beth Rubio from We're out in
Yeah.
California. I just
California.
yeah, and I know a lot of people that grew up in very small towns and they want to go to the city, and they go to the city and they're there for a while and they're like, I gotta go.
She's from here.
Oh, she's
Badok.
from here.
Yeah.
Ah, yeah, Jeff, you're right. Manila. It's just like any other city in the world. Overcrowded,
What?
polluted, smells.
You're in Manila, Jeff?
Yeah,
How's it Manila now?
he says it's expensive.
Expensive, and you we know that it just election just finished, so
Yeah,
maybe it's still busy to something.
Manila's always busy.
Oh.
The traffic. If you want to get in Manila, if you want to get from point A to point B, either walk or have a bicycle.
I really don't like stay in Manila.
Now, like I said,
I don't like. I will go there to visit, but
no,
we'll stay
yeah.
there for 2 to 3 days and then
You know what the good thing?
go.
Somebody told me. You know what the good thing about visiting Manila?
What?
You'll be leaving soon. That's the good thing about Manila. Don't get me wrong. It's a city. It ain't no special than any other city in the world. You got your problems, You got your noise. You got
Yeah.
your pollution.
Pollution. Oh,
Matter
oh
of fact,
gas.
when I was going through getting my 13A at the agency, there was a woman there, a Filipino woman, and she says, you know the best view you know what the best view of Manila is? And I was like, where? And she goes, from a plane. You can look down and just fly over top of it. I was
Bye
like, oh my
bye.
God. And she was from Manila. She said she says it's just too crowded now.
2 weeks.
You're from Beth, you're from LA.
LA.
Is LA as bad as they say it is? As far as the homeless and the drugs and the crime?
Yeah, you're right, Jeff.
Yeah, Jeff, you might as well walk, right? Am I
Traffic is
wrong?
so
Jeff, am I wrong?
horrible.
Am I wrong? It's better to either walk or ride a bicycle in Manila.
Kasi yeah.
Man, this bothers me. You had that chat all set up and all of a sudden it went away.
You try to. Oh,
Wait a minute, let me see something here. Wait a minute, what the hell is going on?
you're,
Hey, check this out, people. I just clicked the button, okay? I'm going to show you something real quick.
suddenly.
Accidentally clicked on my mouse in the chat. Good. I hate looking at this phone like this.
You need to.
Yeah, Beth. It just I remember when I was a kid. I was 12. Keep in mind, I'm 61 years old. When I was like 12 or 13, my dad's a truck driver. He was all 48, even Alaska and Canada and Mexico. And LA was a beautiful, beautiful city. You know that?
I don't know. You bring me there, so I know.
It's no, it was. It was just like Utah, Salt Lake City. I mean, if you look at Salt Lake City from a distance, beautiful. But when you get into Salt Lake City, you're like, and even that, even people have told me. My father has told me. He had said at one time Salt Lake City was like it was ran, and I had not a bad thing. It was ran by Mormons, and they took care of that city. Now you got people coming in, and they're changing the whole atmosphere of it, and it's not as good as it used to be. Yeah, Dos Burgos. I don't know if I'm saying that. You're right, man. Everywhere. It's not only California. Look. I'm from Philadelphia. Okay, I wouldn't take my dog right now. I wouldn't take my dog into California. I'm in California into Philly. You know what I mean? It's just uh, Camden and areas like that. It's just I don't know. I don't know, man. I look at it differently because I'm an outsider looking in now. And what happened? What happened?
Kings, Kensington. Sin.
Yeah, Kensington. Yeah, you got the drug addicts. What happened? Yeah, remember I showed where you see them. I usually only watch it for a couple of seconds, and it just disgusts me. But you see the people bend over backwards,
Yeah.
but just froze like those statues. That's what he's talking about, Kensington. It's sad, man. It's really. Hey, did you? Never mind. I don't want to. Miles, ask Miles. I was annoyed when we were listening. I was listening to report. See, I don't watch mainstream news anymore because I got my reasons. Okay, I watch independent news, and yeah, Flacker. Yeah, you're right. You're right, Doss.
Lapa drugs.
But everything that we've been promised in the past couple of weeks is not coming. It's not coming, and it's just very annoying. Yeah, Fort Worth. Been to Fort Worth plenty of times. Plenty of times.
Dallas.
Dallas was another beautiful city.
Dallas. That Dallas. Dallas Airport.
Well,
Dallas
it's
is still
Dallas
in the
Fort
Philippines.
Worth. Am I right, Marion and Gino? Am I right? I think it's what, Dallas Fort Worth Airport. You know, there used to be a flight. I don't know if it happens anymore. There used to be a direct flight flying from the international airport in Dallas straight to the Philippines. I don't know if it's happening
Yeah,
anymore. It
still
is?
have. Florence told me one time.
Yeah, because I was trying to get it. You know, first couple of
Dallas.
when I used to visit, I used to try, you know, I'll fly to Dallas and I'll hop my happy butt on a flight going directly to the Philippines, but it never came up. They say you pay like $100, $200 more, but you want to know something? It seemed like every time when I was flying from the States to here, I took the same route. Well, but yeah, basically, I went from Montana to Seattle, from Seattle to either South Korea or Japan to here. But the layover in South Korea or Japan was like 24 hours, you know, and you're afraid to do. And then I found out when everything was said and done in Japan at the airport, they got what they call these sleeping pods. All it is a pod that you get into, and it's got a bed, which is great. They got a little TV, and you got Wi-Fi. And I think it was between $30 and $40 a night. I might be wrong, you know. I found that out after the fact because there was no advertisement in the airport about it.
Hello, Matthew Hansen. Good morning from church.
No, Beth, no, we haven't checked that resort out. Hey, stay humble.
RMK.
Stay humble. Where on the East Coast you from?
RMK Paraton.
Anthony, yeah, there's a direct flight. But like I said, I was more than happy to do that, you know. But I could never find it on my because I use 3 different apps. Okay, these Nats, 3 different apps, and you know to check the prices out, see who was better. But that was never offered. That was never offered. The direct flight from Dallas. I mean, I would have found. Believe me, I was a truck driver. I would have went, got me a load to Dallas, parked my truck somewhere at a long-term parking lot where you paid like $200 for the month, and I would have done it that way. But I never got it. No, Ruby. I have never checked RMK Resort.
It's not Beth. It's not Paraton. It wasn't Paraton. It's in Murong.
Where?
What I know is Murong. That the road beside Yellow House.
Yes. Oh, you mean that new one?
Yep.
Yeah, you're right. Now we haven't checked that out
Is
yet. We've gone by it twice when they were building it, but we never stayed there.
it's not Paratong, Morong.
From Delaware, huh? Yeah, we used to go in Delaware when I was living in where I lived in Delaware County. Okay, it was like you hop on 95, go south for like 10 minutes, depending on traffic, of course. And there was Delaware. And I believe in Delaware, what the drinking age was back in the early 80s, late 70s. Drinking age was 18, wasn't it? I know Jersey was. Well, that was New Jersey was at one time. I don't know if Delaware ever was. I think it was Delaware.
What the Delaware? What city is that?
It's a
That is
state.
that is
Yeah, it's
okay.
south of Pennsylvania.
Hi, Darrell. Good morning.
Hey, Dal,
Hello.
how you
Good
doing, man?
morning.
How's the missus doing in California? Yeah, 18. Yeah, we used to, you know where I'm going with that. We used to hop in our car. A guy had a 67 Impala, I think, 2-door Impala, candy apple red. We used to hop in that and go to Delaware. He was 18.
Hi,
Hey,
hello,
Timothy.
Timothy. Good morning.
Virginia, we're at Virginia. I lived in Norfolk, Bayview area.
Did you actually start on time?
Well, no, see, my ultimate goal, I know, why you got to bring that up, though, man? Why you throwing me under the bus? I'm just joking. I had issues. Ask Myles. She's my witness. You better.
Yeah.
Now, I started it, but it kept on telling me that I had to log in after I logged in, after I logged in, after I logged in. And then when I finally got into it, now I got it back. My chat went away, but it's back now. Shenandoah Valley is pretty. You know that?
Senador Pali? Disable air. Disable air. Good morning. Yeah, you're right. Beth, Filipino time.
Yeah, that's.
Filipino
I
time.
know all about that Philippines. Don't be pointing at me.
Filipino time.
Listen to this. I think it's funny because I'm so used to it now. I said, Miles. I said, hey. I said, don't forget 9 o'clock. She goes, oh, no. And the typical. Guess what? 2 minutes before 9. Guess where Miles is? I look out my window and she's out there messing with the garden. Am I wrong? She was gonna say
No,
that.
I'm not working in the garden.
You were,
I just put under the sun the fruit that I want to dry.
that your story and you're sticking to it?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, Sandy. Yeah, I don't. It wasn't. I don't know what it was. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like I said, a couple told me how to log in. I log in. I log in. I log. And believe me, logging in ain't just you know your email and your password. You got through to go through this 2 or 3 step verification now, and it was like what? And no, I don't get. I mean, I used to be like oh, but now I'm like, and I go through the steps again and then again and then again. I don't know. No, I didn't get your text about Meal Connect. Were they gonna make it more complicated? Sandy, where are you from? I'm thinking California, but I'm probably wrong. I'm probably wrong.
Send it.
It just, never mind. Oh, I was watching. How many of you here I wasn't upset about it. I was like, enough is enough. Uh, and that some of you know I really don't like talking pot. Well, has to do with retirement. Do you know it's been finalized that the retirement age, I know it was talk 67, or they were thinking about it, okay, or the laws they just passed, the requirement now is 67. Now, if you apply for Social Security under six, now listen to this, man. If you apply for Social Security under 67, like 62, 61, all right, they'll take away 30% of whatever you get, and that's not until you reach 67. That's until the day forever. All right, you don't get 30% of your Social Security. What?
Yes.
I think whatever everybody has told me that went there, you got the YH. Tell them the name of it. I always get it.
YH Travelers Inn.
Yeah, YH. It's YH stands for Yellow House, but the name on the building. It's YH Travelers Inn and Restaurant.
Restaurant.
All right. there's a guy here right now. Daryl, he stayed there. He said it was nice. It's clean, and a retire. It doesn't mean anything, but it just the standards. The couple that owned it, the husband is a retired Marine. No, he's not. Yeah, retired Marine, and the wife.
McLovin, good morning.
Beth, I got my. Let me look at it. Let me make sure I don't show you any important information. Yeah, here it is. Let me see. Okay, wait a minute. Is there any numbers on this I can't show anybody? Yeah, I got my new one. It's almost like a credit card. You know what I mean? That's the new one. What do I do with my old one? Make sure I got no. Okay, I got to cover up my social, and that's I'm being whited. Here, hold on a second, man. I'm being whited out. I know why. I got the shades drawn up in the front. Let me shut this, and I'll just turn on the light. Ooh, that's too dark.
Wow.
Okay, you got it?
Yeah.
You're off. Isn't Myles helpful?
Helpful of the year.
See, that didn't even help, man. That's the old one, all right? The green one. And this is the new one. I didn't know nothing about this, okay? That they were changing it over. And a friend of ours that's in here, Daryl, he's the one that said, hey, you need to get a new ID card. So I'm glad, like I said, man, he has saved my butts quite a few times so far. But yeah, they're switching over from green to white. Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. Now, Daryl, do they offer like a van service or something like that, or is that on you? I'm not sure. That's why I'm asking you. Do they offer any kind of like van service, taxi service, or no? They just the hotel and that's it. Which is like I said, everybody that stayed there says the Yellow House is really nice, and they got good food. They got good food. No, man, you're right. I thought it was Dos Buggers. I thought the Social Security payout, if you're under the age, but like I said, or they redid the law that if you apply for Social Security under the age of 67, like 62, 63, they knock off 30%. Now, before it used to be after you reach that retirement age, like 67, you get the 100%. Not now. Once you get it, you start it, you don't get, in other words, that 30% is gone for the rest until you're pushing daisies. That was my understanding. And it irritated me, man. No, I'm not clear. The only thing I get is my military retirement, okay? But it just irritates me because you got people out there that work their whole lives, all right? And they say, okay, I'll collect Social Security. And they gotta jump through they gotta jump through hoops for something they paid into. All right? This is my thinking. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, okay? That they paid into, they're giving it to people that never paid into it. All right.
How's the weather in Ilocos?
And they're still going to tax it. So you got to pay a tax on something that you were taxed on a tax, if that makes any sense. And it's just, when does this end? When does all this end? And I'm not anti-American, okay? And I hope nobody thinks I am. I am not anti-American. I'm just looking around like, when does this end? When does all this money grab end? How's the weather in Locos? You want to know something? They're coming up on rainy season, but I think Badak is doing it the slow approach to it. What do you think?
Something like that. Yeah.
Something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah. It'll be cloudy all day, all right, which is great because you don't get the intense sun. And like, okay, and the humidity is sky high. Okay, it's like 60, 70%, but it never rains.
We've been seen.
Yeah, but also with that retirement age, I thought, okay, I'm trying to make sure I send it. It's no matter what part of your life, if you paid, you had to pay 10 years into it. You know what I mean? In other words, like the military. There's a guy I know now. All right, he did 20. It's not me. He did 20 years in the military. Okay, he ran through some financial problems and stuff like that after he got out of the military, and now he's 60, 66, I think it is. I can't remember. And they're saying, well, you never paid into it. And he's like, excuse me? I'm retired military. I paid 20 years into Social Security. He said, you got people in this room right now hasn't paid a dime into it, and they're going to get it? I'm going to be honest, man. Sometimes I just feel that the government wants us senior citizens just to fade away. To fade away. Yeah, I know that, McLovin. Myles won't be able to get anything because you have to be a minimum of what, 5, 10 years. In other words, Myles would have had to live a minimum of 5 or 10 years in the United States in order to collect my, Social Security. She has no desire. She'll go and visit there, but I don't think she wants to live there.
I have no desire. I really don't have desire to live in US. I just
Why is
want
that?
to.
Give me a reason why.
I just want. I just want to go there for visit.
Yeah, not trying to
Not
be
longer than 3 months.
okay.
And
Not to be argumentative. Okay,
Yeah.
but why would you have no desire not to live in the United States? Be honest.
What I have no desire to live in US. One thing is I'm getting old. The weather is if the weather drop down to 0 degrees.
Oh, you're talking about the weather. Yeah, that's understandable. Yeah, I always tell Miles because when I was still in the States, and a lot of places I went to like Montana, the north,
It's cold.
okay, and she see all the snow. Oh, I want to be in the snow, and I was like, I'm thinking, oh, you would lose your mind. You would lose.
Yeah,
You wouldn't know what to do.
Yeah, I will stay there for 3 months. That's it.
Yeah, yeah, it is hard. I know there's one guy, whipping Sean. All right, there is one guy from Canada. He has I don't know his name, but always wears this. He's got a piece of rope or whatever going across his head like this. All right, he became a Philippine citizen, and I'm like, why? Because all people don't know this. Say if you're retired military, okay. Say I decided, okay, I want to become a Philippine citizen. I'm going to relinquish. I don't want U.S. citizenship anymore. My military retirement pay, it stops. My Social Security, I don't get it. So I don't understand why somebody my age anyway would want to do that. But like I said, there's one Canadian. He did do that, and I was just trying to figure out why. Unless he had no benefits coming to him from Canada.
Hey, hey, Beth, what is Kulas?
Yeah,
What
yeah, that's the guy's name. He's kind of weird.
the the
He's
one
not a
living
bad guy. I don't know him.
living in
He,
Dumaguete? Some in the south.
remember that guy? Remember that guy that all the girls liked watching him. The guy from
Yeah,
Canada.
I
He
know.
had
I know.
long. Yeah, she knows who I'm talking about. All right, it was the guy was with him most of the time. The
Yeah.
guy had that thing. I don't know what was up with that. He always has his. It's not a band. It could say no, a bandana or whatever, but it was just a piece of rope that went. Like I said, I don't know him, so I'm not saying he's a good or bad guy. The only thing I'm saying is that he became a Philippine citizen. I
Yeah,
don't know why.
certified Philippine citizen.
Yeah, you're right. Stay humble. Yeah. Man, I don't know why he did it. Like I said, I don't know if he's a good or bad guy, but he was. And you all might know, especially the females in here, the guy he used to hang around with, the Canadian with the long dark hair. Most of his subscribers were females.
Females, yeah.
Myles, you were subscribed to him, weren't you?
No,
You sure?
no. I only subscribe Brett Marbury, the one
That's who I'm talking about, Brent Maverick.
it's not.
That's yes. The guy.
He's not.
Hey, that doesn't bother me. It just had long. He had long hair. He went back to Canada for a while.
No, he wasn't in Canada anymore. He's now living in.
That's another thing,
somewhere in
McLeod.
Europe. Something like that.
Maybe if I have to go back to the United States because I feel that things ain't being done the way they should be, I am getting Myles put on the. Myles, like, she didn't worry about it, but I do. Okay, get Myles put on my deers and figure out how she can get an ID card. You know, and yes, she would if she gets what? I don't think it's half of my retirement. I think it's like 30%. I'm not sure. But get her fully in the system. At one time, she's like, no need. It's now that I think about it, what?
You know that Beth? He's
Yeah, so Brett Maverick. Yeah,
Brett
so
Maverick.
Beth knows she probably was just. It's just, I'm not knocking the guy. I'm pretty sure he's nice to look at. I'm a guy. I don't know, but like I said, if you go through his subscriber list, it was mostly females.
He's not.
Just like some of these female Philippine vloggers. If you look through those subscriber lists, most of them are males.
He's not. He's not Maverick. He's Kulas, but a friend of Brett. I know what you're talking
Would you
about.
just say? Yeah,
Maverick.
She knows what I'm talking.
Maverick is a shorter hair, but the Kulas is long hair, and always put the
No.
handkerchief.
The guy who wore the rope, he didn't have long hair. He had short hair.
I know him.
Okay, then you had Brett Maverick, and they had a dog. What was his name? Buttercup or something like that? The dog. Remember the dog? Buttercup or Butter something? Yeah.
I know. He's not the one. It's not.
And most of his vlogs were in his apartment or his flat. You know what I mean? But girls liked watching. Hey, more power to you. The girl, the female sex like to watch him. Well, like I said, you got an attractive Philippine woman doing vlogs. Who do you think mostly watch? You think females are watching them? Let's be real. Unfortunately, and a couple of female Philippine vloggers have been caught, but they were scamming.
Oo, iba yung Kulas at Maverick sinasabi ko sa kanya, Beth.
Yeah. Yeah, Beth, you're right. Yeah, he had that ring around his head. I was like, what? Yeah, and it was like...
Sa bali di bagbaga. Maverick di bagbaga, Kulas di ibagbaga na. Kagayim da ko naman.
Stay humble. I don't know. I never checked in getting dual citizenship. In other words, be a citizen in the U.S. and here.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could do that.
You can.
I do know that, like, when I was living in Scotland and places like that, and Americans married a Scottish girl, okay? As soon as that baby was born, they asked them, whose citizenship do you want? Do you want the U.S. or Scotland? But a lot of them do. They gave them the dual citizenship, but they were told when that child reaches the age of 18, it might have changed because I'm not an authority on this. When the child reaches the age of 18, they got to pick what citizenship they want. They want either the U.S. or the U.K. citizenship. I don't know if that's changed.
Dual, you can apply dual here. Many Filipinos already do.
What,
Filipinos living in a state or many foreigners living in here doing their dual citizen.
I'm 61 years old. I don't want to make my life. Why would I go and get dual citizenship?
You can.
Money. That's just money that I could spend somewhere else.
If you have asset in U.S.
Well, in
example,
other words, if you're
here
rich.
Also here in Philippines, you can get them. You can still the owner of the asset.
Oh, and another thing I found out today that that 200,000. If you make 200,000 or less, man, politicians voted no. Now, if that's true, I was listening to this guy. He's pretty reliable. He was talking about how he sounded, didn't he? He sounded pissed off. You know, and he went on a rant, and he just says, you know what? See, never mind. I don't want to talk. I don't want to. Nope. I ain't talking about it. I ain't talking about it. It's just. Oh. Yeah, Weston. The Weston. They know. He knows what he's talking about, man. He ain't talking out his butt. He knows what he's talking about. That's what I was reading. Yeah, that's true too. Here, a lot of people think a lot of vets that come over here, and you know, they're in the VA. They think they can come over here, and anything that goes wrong with them, the VA will take care of it. Nope.
No.
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 The only thing the VA here takes care of is what you documented, why you are in the system. They don't. If you break your leg, you gotta go to a hospital, you know, and the VA is not going to pay for it. That's my understanding, Weston. I might be wrong, but that's what I was told. If you're over here and you break your leg and you got to go to the hospital, you got to pay for it. The VA
Yeah,
ain't going to
not
pay for
unless
it.
not
I don't know
unless
if it's true.
you go directly to the VA hospital, which is I think there is one VA hospital in Manila.
Yeah, it is. He's
Yeah,
Weston. It's not a hospital. It's a clinic.
it's clinic. That's considered hospital also.
It's a Myles. The clinic. It's not that big.
Nah, this okay because
All the vloggers I see video, it doesn't look very big. Doesn't look very big at all. I don't know. I've never been to it. I see a long time ago. Okay, I went to the VA in Hampton, Virginia. I walked in there. Okay, everybody's like, "You should get on there." Da da da. All right. I walked in there and I seen these guys who are amputees, traumatic brain injuries, and you know, I see one guy with no arms, no legs. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, I have no right to be here. You know, I have no right, and I walked out. Yeah. So I mean, TRICARE. They have you see what's scary about this. Anybody has TRICARE, you know, retired military TRICARE. The only scary thing is okay, and everything that I looked at and checked out, it's one of these. Okay, this is what you do. You go to the hospital for something. All right, you get your bill. You got to pay that bill with the hopes that TRICARE pays you back. That's my own. That is my understanding. I'm kind of like, see, we already got burned one time through Phil Health. Like I said in the very beginning, first time we were in the hospital, we were paying and paying and paying. And every time I asked them, hey, when's Phil Health going to pick up? Oh, what we do is you pay us and then Phil Health will reimburse you. How long ago were you not? And I'm not mad at Myles because she has nothing to do with this. How long ago was your surgery in your neck?
for three, 22,
22.
21, 22, 23, 24, 4 years.
4 years. And we haven't received anything. Zero. So, like I said, my faith and I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, yeah. Thank you. Yeah, yes. Grammy got her group flower.
Sunday.
Yeah, Sandy. Yeah. Also, when I looked at, I saw your face, and your name Sandy. Just like, come on, leave me alone. Don't judge. Yeah, it's just a clinic. It's not a hospital. That's why talking to other vets and retired guys, and uh, they were talking about reopening the base here. You know, now there is Navy military, or not just Navy, that comes in and out of Manila, but it's not a permanent base. You know, even when I was in the military, I flew into Manila after it closed down. I flew into Manila a couple times. And I was gone. You know, we weren't. It's not a base. It's just, and probably Weston, Darrell Weston knows what I'm talking about. It's just like a landing point, and then you're gone. You know what I mean? It's just okay. Let's go here. Let's go there. A lot of places you think you think it's a base, and you're like you fly into there, and you're like, and it's like a hangar. And there's no designation on the outside of the building that this is controlled by the U.S. government or the Air Force or whatever, right? Until you go inside the hangar, and that's when you start saying, you see the the green boxes and stuff like that, and you're like, oh, okay.
Cucamonga? Where's that? Where's that? Cucamonga.
What are you talking about?
The last
I don't know.
chat.
Say hello
Yeah,
from
yeah, hello.
Rancho Cucamonga. Where's that at, Grace? Uh,
Rancho Cucamonga.
how's the Dos Pigos? Pagos.
Dos Bagos.
Yeah. How's the hospital in Guam? I haven't heard anything about it. Is it one of them places, like at one time the hospital in Portsmouth, Virginia, people say, I can get my arm cut off, okay, and I will walk past that hospital with the arm in my hand and go to another hospital. That's but I don't know. People say it's changed. I don't know.
This is in California.
Oh, California? Where in California? Is it Southern California, McLaughlin?
Cucamonga.
Yes, I vape. Hey, I gotta have something in life, okay? I don't drink. I don't smoke cigarettes. I don't go running around chasing 20-year-old girls. I need something in my life, and this is it with Myles. I got Myles, and I'm more grateful and happy. But, I gotta have something. That my vaping and coffee. Let me see. Okay, vaping and coffee. Life is good for me.
Like,
Why are you keep on looking at it? You could just look here.
yeah, but it's
Yeah. Oh, it's a favorite.
Jack Benny.
Was a favorite Jack Benny destination. Huh? Is it near Palm Springs? Is it
In
Southern
Southern
California?
California.
Is it near Palm Springs? Or is that? Well, no, Darryl, I know where you're going with this, and I'm not going to tell you because I don't want you. No, don't worry about it. What I usually get let me tell you what my hookup is. What's her name? The owners of the Yellow House.
Marlin.
Marlin. She's my hookup. Once in a while, I guess when she's in and she's around, she buys me one of the Folgers
Folgers.
coffees. Take up karaoke?
What?
Hey, can I sing?
Yeah.
No, you're lying. Don't lie. I
Huh?
can't sing.
Yes, you can, but you only don't want to do it.
No, I can't. She's being nice. I can't sing. I got to move over. Wait a minute. I know what's going on. Hold on a second. There.
Hey, good morning, Elvin.
Where's Elvin?
Elvin is
Hey, good morning. Hey, is it spring yet in New York, there, Mr. Elvin? Oh, we got Homebody Hannah. Hello from Tennessee. We're in Tennessee. Oh, I love Tennessee. I love Tennessee. Beautiful, beautiful Tennessee.
and Cassis. And Cassis. Hey, good morning. Meron noon
Dogs
dito
will
sa
howl.
tapat namin.
You got that right. You got
Alala.
that right.
Yeah.
What? If I sung, dogs will howl. Hey, I'm not denying.
Someone asked if the
It's right here.
Badok town is nice. So
It is nice.
She's asking, or he is asking, if there is a lot for house or lot
You know, I would wait.
for sale.
I wouldn't buy anything right now. And I've talked about this so many times in the past. The prices here are so inflated, so inflated. How about that one property, the one over there? How much did you want in the beginning? 5 million pesos.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm sorry, it ain't happening. All right, I pay. How much we paid? 2 million for this house with the land. Yeah, about 2 million for this house with the land. And that was 4 years ago. He's just got land that needs to be developed. Okay, and he wants 5 million. No, no, no. I'm sorry. How much did they sell that one right there at the corner?
Without, it's only the property. It's less than 1 million.
Yeah, right across the street next to the house that Daryl keeps on asking me, and I haven't forgotten about how much they want for it. It was a piece of property there.
900.
900?
900,800, I think.
900,000 for that's about $20,000 roughly. I ain't got a conversion chart on me, but yeah, I would wait. I would wait and see what happens because, like I said, even rent right now here is like crazy. What they do is, okay, and I know a lot of people get mad. They'll say, okay, you come in. You want to rent a house. They say, okay, 3,000 pesos a month. And you're like, okay, I'll pay that much. How much is that? 3,000. That's about less than $100. All right, okay. You get in there, you move all your stuff in, you get settled. Next thing you know, Mr. Landlord calls in and says, I've been thinking about it. I think I want to charge you 500 a month, 5,000 pesos a month.
So,
They do that a lot here. They do that a lot. It does. People could say, "Oh, that don't happen." Yes, it does. Yes, it happened to people across the street from us. I told them I would have packed my crap up and left. You don't play games like that, man. See, there is no contract. Everything's word of mouth. Everything is word of mouth. So,
how square meter or land?
corner lot. You're talking about the one right here, right across the street from me, Dell. If you're talking about that one, it's been sold, hasn't it? Yeah, that lot's been sold for 900 something thousand. How about the other one where the guy wanted 5 million? Did they sell that one yet?
Not yet.
How much is he asking now?
I don't know.
Yeah, crazy.
5,000 and
5,000.
5 million.
You ain't gonna get 5 million for it. I don't care
5 million and not yet subdivided.
It's a good size
So
property.
if you bought that one, might become will become trouble.
Well, what do you mean? Oh, because somebody else.
Yeah. Like example,
it's on a mother deed.
If there are 4 to 3 siblings, and the other one don't want to sell his portion.
See, what I mean by mother deed is, okay, you have a deed, but there'll be individual properties listed on it. The same person owns it, but it's been divided up, okay? And supposedly they do that for purpose of if they ever, say Myles, we have this property. Myles, I don't know why she do this, but I'm just trying to give an example. She divides this property in half. Okay, in her mindset, she's going to give one half to her son and another half to her daughter. All right. The problem with that is what people have is, say the daughter decides, I don't want that. I don't want it. I'm going to sell it. Well, the problem with that is that the mother deed has both properties on it, so you got to pay a lawyer to get everything straightened out. In other words, get a lawyer to separate two different deeds. And then people say it's a pain in the butt. I don't know how much because I've never been through it, but they say it's a headache because now the person that owns the other part of the other section of that property, they want some money. Everything comes down here in the Philippines. Everything comes down to money. Everything, you know. Did somebody accuse you of something? Okay, because remember, you come to the Philippines. The Philippines have more right than you do. Don't, you know, even though you're from the West, it doesn't matter. That Filipino has more rights than you do. So they can go to the police. Okay, say you're in a relationship with them, and you decide this is not working. You're crazy. I can't do this. And you decide to leave. Well, she gets pissed off because you just cut off the cash cow for her. Okay, so she'll go to the police and say, "Oh, he beat me." Okay, well, what do you want to do about it? I want to press charges against them. Well, they'll come and get you, lock you up because you beat on them. And all she's got to do is every time the police talk to her, he beat me. That's all she has to do. She has to have no proof, no witnesses, nothing. She beat me, and you're sitting in jail. It happens.
Yeah,
It happens
and
here.
cases. Philippines is the best, one of the best retiring place, but it depends the location or the place where you retire.
When's a good time of the year to come to the Philippines to visit? Christmas
You
season?
you have the experience
Well,
already.
no, because Christmas season, forget it. You're gonna pay out the boonga
Yeah.
for travel and at the very because keep in mind all the OFWs are coming back to the Philippines for the Christmas, so the airlines jack the prices up because they're gonna pay it.
You experience to have holiday here January, April, July, and not December.
Not December, no, not Christmas.
February.
I think from the beginning of December till what middle of January
Yeah.
is expensive.
Expensive, yeah.
And what other holidays is here? It's expensive.
What's that? Peak season.
When's that?
That's December, March, or July,
Pick
or
season?
yeah, or
What's pick season?
February. It's the I forgot. Peak season is the just like December. This is peak season.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna look up which pick season because it's
Peak season is just like holiday.
how you
A
spell it?
holiday.
P-I-K P-I-C
P-E-A-K.
P-E-A-K.
A-K.
Oh, peak.
Yes, peak season. It's a holiday.
I thought you were saying pick.
Peak season.
I look it up. What is pick season in the Philippines? Okay, the peak. You say peak. Okay.
Huh?
The peak tourist season in the Philippines typically runs from mid-December to mid-April,
April, yeah.
coinciding with the dry season. So that's the most expensive time to come here.
Yes.
But a lot of people I talked to, okay, they came here during dry season. They're like, it's too hot, too humid, all right. And then they come during wet season, and they're like, hey, it's more comfortable here.
Yeah, January and February is still.
Depends on what you like. If you like it hot and humid and sticky and muggy, you come during dry season. If you like it where it's a little raining, because a lot of people, I say this. Last year during our rainy season, we did have 1 week when it was constant rain. Constant rain. It was like, when is this going to stop? All right. But then after that, it like rained like it does in the States. Every once in a while, when it rains, it rains. So rainy season, you're guaranteed to have rain. Dry season, it ain't happening. It's just dry, hot, humid.
Wi-Fi massive.
Yeah, January, February.
Yeah, January, February is still okay.
Yeah. Oh, the peso, McLovin, the peso machines. You know, I was thinking about getting one, but then there's a, well, I don't know, I haven't seen him. There is a guy, well, a police officer that was stationed here in Badak. His story is his father was a U.S. Marine, his mother was Filipino. They got married, boom, he was created. All right. They lived in the Philippines for quite a time, went back to the States, all right, and then his father passed away. Him and his mother came back to the Philippines. He was already college educated. I mean, he got educated in the United States and everything like that, but he had dual citizenship. He joined the Philippine Marines. He was in there for a few years. Went back to the States, joined the U.S. Marines. Was in there for a few years. Then he came back to the United States. I mean, back to the Philippines, and he was a shoo-in for PMP because of his military background. What I'm trying to get at is that for the time he was in Badak, stationed in Badak, I used to talk to him. He used to mess with me all the time. Good guy, good guy. Well, anyway, I was telling him that I was thinking about getting a Wi-Fi peso. Remember when we were talking about it one time? And he told me, don't get one. He says they've been having problems with people stealing them, which makes no sense. I don't know what they were thinking because every night you empty it, okay? I think it costs, you empty the machine out. It's like a slide. It's like you pay for the Wi-Fi. And he says, but people are stealing them, and they're finding them like destroyed, broken into, destroyed. You can't use them no more. So he says, I wouldn't get one. You're wasting your money. And it was just pure luck that they found these machines. Not that it mattered because there is no insurance on them.
Mm.
But no, I didn't get one. And I know what. I just asked you yes or no questions. No, I didn't get a Wi-Fi peso. It was just too much of a risk. Really, the Sky Starlink went up. The places I'm looking at, well, see, you can get all different package deals, and you can get all speeds. The one I was looking at was 2,999 pesos, the same amount I pay for my the the one we have now. But like I said, you got to pay that $500 kicker to get the equipment. But a lot of people that have Skylink, they like it. Or
Mm.
Starlink, Starlink. I don't know the fucking name of it. Starlink. A lot of people love it.
Contest channels ask you what is your favorite art of living in the Philippines.
You can use stay humble, okay? When you come here, you can use your stateside or whatever country you're coming. You can use that driver's license. I believe it's 90 days. All right, but if you get like a 13, and a lot of times you hand them your driver's license, okay? They don't. If it's not expired, you're good. Okay, they don't ask you for your passport. Anytime I got stopped from a checkpoint, they never ask for it. They ask for I show them my driver's license. Half the time they don't even know what they're looking at. Okay, they just look at it and say, "Okay, thank you." All right, they never ask for a passport. But when you get your driver's license, I got it here somewhere. Yes. When you get your driver's license, you know when say you move from North Carolina to Florida, you go into DMV, you hand them your driver's license, and they just switch. They check it out, make sure you're not, there's no warrants out for you, or your driver's license hasn't been suspended. All right, and they give you a Florida. They take your Carolina driver's license, they give you a Florida. Same thing here. I got a. God, I'm whiting out again. I'm sorry, I can't do anything about it.
Your
I have. Huh? It's not expired. No, it's not. 26, 6,
Okay.
18, 26. All right. You got to take a test before. It's on your phone. You get on the phone. You take. They ask four or five questions. One of the questions is a very misleading question. I don't think there's a right or wrong answer to it because when I was sitting there taking the test, I answered a question. There was a Philippine guy standing next to me. I let him look at me. He goes, "Yeah, you're right." And I answered the next question. "Yeah, you're right." But the last one, he kind of looked at it and says, "I don't know the answer to that." You know, I think it was just a question to see if you were cheating or if it was a bot. You know what I mean? But I don't even know if I got it right or wrong. They said I passed. All right. And you go inside, you tell them yes. You show them the, because they'll email you the receipt that you took the test and you passed. You go in there and say, hey, I want to change my driver's license over. I showed them what the message on my phone, and that was it. The only problem is on my U.S. driver's license, okay, it is, I don't even know if I have it anymore. I keep everything. Uh, no, I got to put away. My U.S. driver's license it was a commercial driver's license, okay, CDL, and I also had an endorsement for a motorcycle on it. They wouldn't give me the first thing, they wouldn't give me a CDL, okay, but also they wouldn't endorse the motorcycle one. They said I would have to come back and take the motorcycle test. It might have been just the person I was with, that I was dealing with, the customer service person, but they just gave me the car driver's license. That was it. No, 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 I didn't use a fixer. I didn't use a fixer. No, like I said, I just walked in, showed them
Just
the message I got saying I'm not an idiot, or I'm not a total idiot. He passed the test, and they just switched the driver's license, the U.S. driver's license for a Philippine driver's license. But they don't keep your U.S. driver's license. They give it back to you. Now, a lot of people say, unless you really, really, really have to, try to avoid these fixers because as you're dealing with them, their asking price goes up, and then when they've done everything, okay, and they let you know how much they helped you out, the price goes up. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people say try to avoid those fixers. Try to avoid as much as you possibly can. What's the best part of living in the Philippines? Well, for one thing, I'm with Miles. Okay, and I have said this, and I know I come across real heavy, but if if Miles was not in my life, I probably went back. I probably would have went back to the States. There's a lot of things that happen here. You're like, like sorry, sir, out of stock. That kind of annoys you after a while. Or, the to let you all know, not every Philippine citizen wants foreigners here. Okay, this delusion that we're open with welcome arms. No, they don't hate us, but they rather you be in your own country. Just like the United States. The United States, there's people there that don't want foreigners there. You know what I mean? It's just, it is what it is. But what's that? Okay, let me finish this. But it is what it is. They feel that you're intruding on in their country, and I get it. And believe it or not, there is foreigners here that make it really hard on other foreigners because they act like fools. They think that every girl from the age of 18 to whatever wants to get in bed with a foreigner. That's not true. Believe me, that is not true. All right. They believe that that just because they're from the West, they're more smarter than the people in the Philippines. You got a lot of intelligent people here. A lot of intelligent people. They just don't. They're very quiet people. They don't flash everything in your face. Just like Westerners when they come here, they gotta let everybody know that they have money. Why? Why do you want people to know they have money? You know what that tells me? That they have never been anywhere in their life. And the Philippines is the first time they ever traveled out of the United States or England, whatever. Because it's just not Americans. You got people from England, Australia that think they're the shit. And they ruin it for everybody else. They come here acting like a fool. You got a guy. Last time I was at the mall. When we were at the mall getting my glasses, there was a guy, okay? He was over 60. He was older than me, okay? He was wearing a pair of tight, skinny jeans, all right? She remembers. He was wearing a pair of tight, skinny jeans. He must have had 20 pounds of gold. He was from the U.S., okay? Because I heard him talking. And he was in the eye, when I was getting my eyeglasses, and he was trying to get a pair of eyeglasses to make him look younger. All right. This guy was rode hard and put away wet, okay? And I'm looking at this guy, and the girl's looking at me, and she's doing everything she can to keep from laughing. All right. He looked like a muffin, okay? His pants were so tight, he looked like a muffin. Some of you know what I'm talking about. And I'm looking at this guy, and I was embarrassed for him. You know what I'm saying? And I'm looking at this guy, I was like, dude, stop. And he's trying to hit your average Philippine female, very beautiful, okay? She was probably like between the ages of 18 and 22. He was hitting on her. He didn't have a chance in hell with her, but he was trying. You got to give him that. He was trying. And she's, his mouth still left. She knew exactly what I was talking about. And I was like, dude, stop, man. Just you're making a fool of yourself. Not every female here, young female here, wants to be with a foreigner. Matter of fact, a lot of them don't want anything to do with foreigners.
What? Most of your viewers.
We got a guy from Palm Springs.
Spring.
I wonder if
You answer this one.
What?
Pressy.
Are you Price? What's your name?
Pressy.
Pricey.
Pressy.
Are you here now, or are you coming here? Palm Springs. What's that guy's name? Ian.
Ian, yeah.
Ian.
Ian on YouTube.
Yeah, there's a guy who lives in Palm. I know you probably. It's like, hey, you from the United States? Yeah. Do you know Bill? Yeah, you got a really well-known vlogger. He lives in Palm Springs. Jesse, I'm talking to Jesse. Drive in. All right, he's a funny guy, man. He's 30. he's 30. He's 30 years old. He works at 7-Eleven. He lives with his grandmother, and he's funny though. He wants to move to Utah.
Yeah.
You might have heard the vlogger Ian on YouTube, and he has a Latino friend. What's his name? He's funny too.
Armando.
Yeah, Armando. Great guy.
Next.
Funny. I like watching because I want YouTube to be entertained. I don't want YouTube to piss me off or get me depressed. So I don't watch depressing people. Okay. And I don't. And it's Myles. I don't. What are you doing?
I am dancing.
And I also don't watch YouTube because I don't care what the next vlogger is doing. I don't. It's their business. I don't care. And I don't, and I've said before, man, some of these people that go after these vloggers that are down on their luck and going through bad times, it's almost like they're kicking them when they're down. That's just not my thing. That's just not my thing.
El Cart in Jana?
So, yeah. Do you know what, man? You know Ian? He lives in Palm Springs and he works at 7-Eleven. Where did I meet Myles? I was on Walking Street. I was walking down the street. She was half naked. And I said, go.
Why? So
Now, actually, me and Myles were talking for a few years. We met on Facebook, okay? And at that time, I just got done with a really, really, really bad relationship, okay? And I didn't want anything to do with a female. No, I didn't hate females. I just I need to take care of myself. No, I'm not a victim. I was a fool because all this stuff going on happened for years and years, and it destroyed my relationship with my kids and my family. Okay, I'm talking about my brothers and sisters, and I didn't want nothing to do with females, man. When we started talking, no, I mean, what really surprised me listening to other vloggers how Philippine scammers scanned them and everything like that, and I was waiting for it. I'm not gonna lie, and I told her that months later. I was waiting for you. Like three conversations. into it. She tells me that her mother's in the hospital and she needs open heart surgery, or her brother was in a motorcycle accident. No, we just. I think you were in the same boat as I was. She went through a really bad relationship. I'm not going to talk about it. That's her story. And I think you were in the same place. She was working in Hong Kong. And I think she was in the same place. She just, she wasn't looking for a relationship. She just wanted to talk to somebody. Am I wrong?
No.
Okay. I finally write about something. And like that. And it's just, and it bloomed from there. I think that's why our relationship is respectful to each other. Number one is she knows what I went through. I know what she went through. All right. And we're not taking each other for granted. And she knows my priorities in the Philippines is her, nobody else. She's my only responsibility, nobody else. We don't have any kids from each other. Okay, she has children from past relationship. They're not my responsibility. They're not. And hold on a minute before you start throwing the bullshit. All right, they're all over the age of 30, just like my kids. My kids are not Miles' responsibility. They're my responsibility, and they're all over the age of 30. That's why it's like, you need a motorcycle, get your freaking ass a job. Yeah, I know. I come across harsh, but I just try to get people to understand. I'm not responsible. They're not my kids. They're not my blood. Why am I responsible for them? Just like my kids aren't Miles' responsibility. Now, Miles would help them out, but we've been through some stuff since we've been here, and I'm done. I'm done. I don't know. I don't have to give anybody anything. I don't have to lend anybody anything. And if you don't like it, I don't care. I take care of Miles.
But Ruby, I usually pass by your house when I'm
Yes.
in Badok, but you never saw.
All you got to do, if you ever, Beth, okay, don't take it. If you ever come by here, okay, 99.9% of the time, if it's not on a Monday, okay, we're home. We don't go that many. It's number one, it's too hot, okay, and 90% of the time, if we take a bus into the log, it's on one of those prison buses, the ones with no aircon and the seats are very uncomfortable. So we're home. So if you ever just come on by, stop, beep your horn a couple times. One of you would be saying, "Who the hell is that, Miles? You know that person?" you know, and wave. Put your hand out the window and wave. It's fine. Where's Mission? What did Mission say?
OMG.
Yeah. You okay?
Yeah.
See, me and Miles, we care a lot about each other. We joke around, and we know when things are serious, and we know when things aren't. We're not up each other's asses. You know what I mean? And we don't sit there and put people down, put each other down. That's child. I think children do that.
I will do something like the others.
What? What are you doing? You all saw it. She hit me.
So
What was that all about?
no, this is just
I have no.
they put something in their
Who
head.
puts? Oh, the bandana. She's talking about bandana.
That just look at my face. Oh my god.
How long we been on? We'll
One
be
minute.
leaving soon. An hour and a half. I'm
Yes.
telling you, this hour and a half flew by. I get the pre-nerve. I do. I get nervous, don't I? I get kind of antsy or nervous, anxiety. I don't get, but because because I got this nightmare.
No,
I mean,
just Trevin. He was not. He wasn't living in Oregon. He's living in
yeah, you're right.
California.
Who's living in California?
California.
Who's living in California?
Ian.
Ian. Yeah, that's Palm
Is
Springs.
it
He,
Oregon?
he's funny, man. Like I said, 30 years old. He's been going to community college for like 14 years. All right. And everything that could go wrong with him, as far as his car, goes wrong, right? Am I right so far? All right. And he's just, funny thing is, for years, he's been doing YouTube for years, okay? And he was stuck at 10,000. All of a sudden, here in the past couple months, it's shot up over 100,000 subscribers. And he's got a mom. His mom is the most cutest thing in the world. How old is she? 90? She's in her 90s, right?
Grandmother.
No, his grandmother. I'm sorry, his grandmother.
91.
90, yeah, she's in her 90, whatever. Okay. And she'll tell you stories about when she was a young kid, which I like hearing. I like hearing how he went to, how things have progressed throughout the years. Yeah, like I said, Bath, Rubio, you ever come by, and you see her, and just stop, honk your horn, wave, and I'll be like, Myles, who the hell is that? And she'll look, I'll say, go out. It's all the time, Myles, go out there. Go see who it is. The reason why I don't go out, okay, because 9 times out of 10 they speak Ilocano. And I just don't want to deal with that.
No, maybe she's living in that resort. Bed.
Just planned. What do you mean by that, Tracy?
Later this
Just
year.
planned to visit later this year. What, here? Like I said, man, everybody. I had a couple of subscribers come. There was one awkward moment though. I felt really. I don't know why. I just felt awkward when remember the SUV, the family from Hawaii. They all watched me. I just felt I'm not used to that. Okay, I'm not used to that kind of stuff. Not that they didn't do anything wrong. I just felt weird. I just felt really weird.
Said, I'll stop by next month.
That's fine, Beth. Like I said, just if you're driving by, the doors are always. I always keep the outer door open because the dogs go in and out, in and out. But if it looks like everything's shut down, if you don't, no. I'm trying to think of how this would play out. If you don't see the screen door open, screen door is the outer door. If you don't see that open, that means nobody's home. The door is shut because Myles doesn't want me running the aircon that much anymore in the living room. She's like, it's costing too much. But yeah, you're more than welcome, man. You're more than welcome. I'm just surprised how many people we got in the room. It's not saying. No, it's not saying. It said at one time and then it went away. Hey, Dell, how many people in the room? 10, 20? So do you all, today's Sunday, right? Yeah. So do you all like this Sunday thing? Going live on Sunday?
38?
28. That's fine. Better than, hey, like I said, man, even if I had one person, at least I had one person show up.
26?
So what else have you got on your agenda? We ain't doing nothing today. Tomorrow's, everybody knows, market day.
What's the date today? 18? 18.
All day. But I'll probably do, never mind. I ain't gonna, because it probably ain't going to happen, so I ain't going to bring it up. 33 thumbs up. 34 in the room, 33. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. So do you have any advice for a man that's coming to the Philippines? Okay? And we'll close this off after what you have to say. And say something. Don't say I don't know, okay? For a man coming to the Philippines, hopefully that he gets into a relationship.
Yeah.
Do you have any advice for that person?
Yeah, I just only know it's just see if that relationship is really good, or I mean, you're foreigner, and the girl is Filipino, whatever, or Asian, or what. This is not good, and always doing something that is not good for the relationship. Is for you guys, don't come if they just only want your wallet, not your heart.
Hold on, Alvin. Well, yeah, you see, not every male or female Philippine, okay?
Yeah.
A lot of them are not all about the money. There is ones that are, let's be honest, okay? Just like any other country, okay? There's people in the States all about money, all right? A lot of them, they want something better, you know? Some of them were born in a one-room house. They lived in a one-room house their whole life, and they know because of the internet and YouTube, they know there's something better out there, and that's what they're going for. And a lot of them were grateful.
Traveling by bus, Campus, from here to Lawag is 30 minutes. If you have your own private car, if you drive private car, maybe lesser than 30 minutes.
No, today is beef day at the market. We don't need beef, so we don't.
We still have there.
And I'm trying to get everybody to understand. When you go there, it's not like going to your neighborhood butcher shop. Say, give me 2 pounds of ribs and some of that shoulder there, and let me have some brisket. It's called hack. They hack up the meat, okay, and the clumps or whatever, and you just buy it. You know, but you gotta watch because a lot of them still have like the hide on it, and that's added in. Now, do they eat hide here? Like the cow's hide, the skin. Do they eat that here?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's like that thick.
Yeah,
What
that
is it
is
they eat? It's like eating a shoe.
that skin. If you buy the cheap price
Yeah.
meat with the skin is 380. That is why we chose only
Yeah,
the
but
meat is 400.
yeah, but
Yeah, they included the skin. Skin is, I like it also, but
it's like eating a shoe. Well, actually, it is eating a shoe. If you really think about it,
I
you're
like
eating
it.
a shoe. It's leather, right? Yeah.
It's leather if you don't cook thoroughly. If it is well done,
It's okay. So you
it's
could.
okay.
So if I don't, but if I had a leather, and I'm not making fun of it, I'm just trying to wrap my head around this. I can take my shoe. If I had a leather shoe
Yeah.
and I could cook it, you would eat it.
Now that, because that is, I know that is leather, shoe
So
leather.
is the hide from the cow. That's leather.
Yeah, but that
Am I,
is,
if I'm wrong, people tell me, dude, shut up. You're an
no,
idiot.
no.
The hide is leather.
I know that already. As I can see,
The only
that is already the skin of fresh skin of cow or beef. This is, I like it.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's leather. I'm just, I might make a hey, the film, like I always said, man, and I'm being totally honest with you. If the world went sideways, okay, the Philippine people would be fine. They don't depend on electricity too much because they know it's here right now and it could be gone in an hour. You know what I mean? As far as a brownout, okay, they know that the prices of things go up and down. Okay, Miles lives in Miles. I'm not full into the Philippine way of life. Okay, I'm gonna be honest with you. Okay, Miles can eat everything that Miles grows out there. She can eat. Okay, with the exception of the cactus, and I'm pretty sure if it really came down to it, Miles would figure out a way how she can eat that cactus plant. Okay,
Yeah.
all right. So, and they got rice. Every home in the Philippines got plenty of rice. Okay, that's just the way it is. I mean, they put rice in the morning. They put rice in the coffee. All
Oh,
right,
that's good.
I'm not knocking it. I'm
Yeah.
just saying I'm not full in. I'm sorry. Just things I
You
can't eat.
make a coffee, a cup, half cup of coffee, and then put 3 spoons of rice. Wow, yummy good. That is
I'm not saying
good.
it's bad. I just, like I said, I'm not fully in.
That is already
And like I
breakfast.
said, if the world went sideways, okay, and things just went really bad, my personal opinion is that the people of the Philippines, not the rich ones and not the ones that live like on Manila because they depend on the markets and stuff like that, but living out here in Badak and other places, they'd be fine. They'd be like, okay, all right. No, I don't need electricity because I'm going to cook my food on my out in my dirty kitchen. Dirty kitchen is a kitchen setup that's outside. Okay, I can cook my stuff. I got enough charcoal, or look at all this wood I got. I can burn. You know, and I'm telling you, I was like, ask Myles. There's plenty of time when it gets so hot, like over 100 degrees in this house, and I'll be sweating like a pig. And I look over Miles, nothing, nothing, and I'm like thinking in my head, what the hell is wrong with you? All right, it's hot as hell. It's humid, and she said it's fine. So they don't depend. At least the older gen now, the younger generation, I can't answer about that. But the older generation, like Miles and maybe people in their 40s, all right, they don't depend on things like other people do in the world. They rely on themselves.
Come, contest channel. Yeah,
How's your
I
sit-
can cook caldereta.
what is that?
Chicken caldereta, pork caldereta, or beef caldereta.
What is it? What's in it?
Just like the one I usually I sometimes I make it, I cook it. The pork or
Do
chicken.
I eat it?
Yeah.
Okay, it must be good. Well, you know
So if
me.
you
I'll try something one time.
if I
If I
cook
don't like
and
it,
it's you
I don't
don't
like it.
like, you don't eat anymore.
What?
You won't eat
Well,
anymore.
see, I learned, and Miles has learned. Okay, when Miles is making something, don't tell me what's in it. Okay, don't tell me what's in it. Okay, I'll taste it. If I like it, I'll eat it. If I taste it and I don't like it, it ain't happening anymore. And she understands that and she
Yeah.
respects that.
You cook caldereta, you need to stew a little bit or make it soft.
Like I said, I probably though I probably had it, and it just I don't remember. I remember.
Yes.
In other words, if she made it today, I would remember it. Okay, but a lot of times she doesn't tell me the names of stuff. She just says, "Eat it, eat it."
Barbecue chicken. We eat
You okay?
barbecue sauce chicken, Elvin.
Like her barbecue
For
sauce.
tonight.
Okay,
Barbecue.
it's not heavy. You know what I mean? It's not thick and heavy, but it's good.
Yes.
Especially once you marinate it, and it's simple. I watched her make it. It takes her what?
Yes,
A
and
couple
they
minutes.
still
Put all the ingredients.
still hurt my hands, especially my wrist and my elbow still hurt. I can still feel hurt.
You still it bothers you once in a while.
Yeah, sometimes.
Well, my
Especially
arm happened.
in the morning and
How many
it's
times?
not that
How
not
many times? And I'm not trying to. Yeah, what she had was serious, but the pain will never go away. This happened over my arm. Happened over 30 years ago,
sometimes
and it's
you,
still every once in a while. It's like
you feel numb sometimes.
Well, that and it's the only reason when I sleep on my left side. The only reason that is so I can keep my right arm laying on the bed and have it supported. You know what I'm saying? As I got older, I'm telling you, people now, man, getting old sucks because the things you've done years ago, like maybe you broke your leg or whatever for it, that's you start paying for it then. That's when the arthritis kicks in or the stiff or the it's like that happened like 40 years ago. Why is it hurting today? Because it happened 40 years ago.
Yum, 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 Elvin.
What's for dinner tonight? Alvin's asking what's for dinner.
Barbecue sauce chicken
Barbecue
barbecue
chicken.
sauce in chicken wings in barbecue sauce.
Oh, there's
Oh.
when we go get this chicken. She made this.
Yes,
What were those barbecue wings you made last night? Oh yeah, we're gonna have them left over.
Yeah.
Oh, they're good, man. What are they? Honey glazed?
No, honey glaze.
They're not
Barbecue.
barbecue.
Barbecue sauce. Barbecue sauce. My flavor.
Yeah, see, Darryl, you know what I'm talking about, man. That nowadays you're like, what did I do?
Yes. Yum, 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 yum.
Yes, Elvin. I should. I'm getting ready to get up and shake because, like I said, I don't eat as much as I used to. Maybe that's just age. I don't know. But we always have leftovers, don't we?
Yeah.
And I told her, I
It's
said, we
good
can have this tomorrow.
yeah, if there is leftover, you save your time to prepare another meal again. You can have that for the next meal.
Hey, Elvin, are you married to a Philippine woman? Stop. What was that all about? You having a moment?
That's not, no, I mean this, is,
Oh, Elvin, it's right there, Myles. Everything you have is right. Look,
no,
see
I'm not,
people, see what I'm talking about?
no, I'm not looking. My eyeglasses is not for
Oh, my.
far sighted.
Well,
Only
are they
for,
the new glasses or
yeah,
the
yeah,
old
yeah.
glasses? Okay,
Yes.
about freaking time. Yeah, I went out and I told her, I'm not a doctor, but I feel that at least once a year you should get your eyes, if you're wearing glasses, even if you don't wear glasses,
He said
get your
yes.
eyes checked.
Your question.
Elvin, is she in the States now or is she still in the Philippines? Yeah, like I was saying, but yeah, and I kept, cool, that's great. That's great. You jumped through a lot of hoops to get her there. That's another thing, man. It's just trying to get a partner, male or female, doesn't matter, into the States when you're married to a citizen. It used to be easy. But from what I've been talking to people, it's not. It's not anymore. They go through a lot. They go through a lot. And you're already married.
Next time, Elvin, you bring her here and we'll have chicken talk.
They live, you know how far
Chicken
he lives?
talk.
You know where how far
Yeah.
her family house is?
Uh,
Alvin's wife's family house in the Philippines. I believe it's pretty far.
he said. Uh, he said before he's from Pampanga,
Where's that at?
um, Region 3, part of Region 3.
We're in Region 1.
Yeah.
So they live out in what's it called?
Near Clark Airport,
All right, Lasam. What region is Lasam?
Region 2.
Region 2? Okay, okay. Now, I don't know. I was thinking that area
It's
was
yung
Region 3.
Pampanga. He said Pampanga.
Pampanga. Is it nice there? Is it like Badak or is it like Cebu?
It's a part. It's just like city.
It's a city?
If they are living in a city, Angeles City, Elvin, is it near? Yeah, okay.
Everybody else is like, why are you just talking to Elvin? What is up with that? Nah, that's fine.
So,
I don't mind doing this, man. Reading, Pennsylvania. Hey, Evan. Reading, Pennsylvania. Yeah. I grew up in, like I said, Delaware County. I don't know if you know, I live near Collindale,
Florida.
Upper Darby, yeah, the shitholes. Ridley Township.
Florida Blanca.
I don't know.
I don't know yet. I don't know that
What
place.
language, what dialect do they speak there?
Is Pampangueño. Pampangenya. They have different dialect. If I as example, if I ask your name, that is only basic di uh, Nano Lagyo. Nano Lagyo mo. What is your name? Nano Lagyo. That is Nag-you mo.
Yes, I did.
Yes,
I don't know
down
now.
towards
They say it's a
Philly.
lot faster than 95. Yeah, I got real close to Philadelphia. We used to go into Philly, take the go to 69th Street, take the L with the trolley into Philly. What?
No,
Yes, pass by Papunga
Pampanga.
when
You go to Manila
from
from Ilocos.
Ilocos.
Yes. It's road.
How about hey Elvin? How about the speed limit here? What is it? 8 kilometers an hour on the highway. That's 40 miles an hour. No wonder why it takes
80.
takes
That is the
forever to go in.
limit.
Yeah, no wonder why it takes
80.
forever for everybody to travel here. 40 miles an hour. I lose my freaking mind.
Oh no, I don't like to eat buro.
Yeah, Alvin, everybody here speaks Tagalog.
Tagalog, yeah.
Yeah, everybody here speaks it.
That is
That's the
the
national
national.
language. I guess, how many different dialects are in the
I
Philippines?
don't know, have a lot of dialect.
Different,
Different, yeah.
like here, it's Ilocano,
Ilocano.
heavily Spanish influence. Sometimes you pick up Spanish words here and there when they're talking, like, that word sounds familiar. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Heavily Spanish influence.
In
Well, they were here, what? Spanish were here 299 years.
in Baguio they have different, they have their own dialect also, but they can speak Ilocano also.
Really?
Mm.
Now, what language here that nobody, I mean, the only people that know this language is the people that speak in the language. There's not very many that speak this language. It's somewhere up in the mountains. Some say it's almost like a made up language. You know what I mean? In other words, that nobody knows where it came from. God, I was watching a video about it once. I can't remember it. It's up in the mountains. The indigenous people, the original Philippine people.
The Eta, something like Eta.
I'm
Eta.
not sure. You
Eta.
if you ever come to the Philippines, okay, and you come up with somebody that's very dark complected, okay, they got almost like a it's almost like an afro. To be honest with you, I'm not trying to be an ass, okay, they're not thin. They're very like Samoan look. Even the females, they're big. That's the original Philippines. The bloodline hasn't been watered down with like the Spanish, the Americans, and the English. They're just the pure Filipinos.
Etas. Yeah, you're right. But Etas. There's those people living
So
in
Alvin, you know
the
what I'm talking? You'll probably pick up, like I said, you'll probably pick up words. You're like, is that? Did he just say what I thought he? A word here and there. I'm not just saying the whole sentence, but you'll pick up words that has. That's why they're called Ilocano, okay? And you'll pick up words here and there like that name. That sounds familiar. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Matter of fact, you would probably have an easier time learning and speaking Ilocano than I do. I have a hard time with the English language, but you would probably have an easier time speaking
Yes, but
Ilocano.
Eta and Darrell. Yes, Negrito.
Yes,
They're the
Weston,
same.
you'll see them. We remember that time when we were out with Brandon and Grace and her two kids. Mama, I looked at them, and then you said that's the original.
Eta.
Yeah, the boy. I mean, it was almost like an ashy darkness to them, like an ashiness to them. You know what I'm saying? And it was like, and the girls were like, ooh.
Not
They weren't thin. They
they are
weren't thin. Don't tell me they were thin. I know what my eyes were
they
looking
are
at.
skinny.
No, they weren't. This girl was not.
No. Maybe he's already in socialized in he's already living in
See,
a nice life. So the 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 body is big, but those
No, they were beggars.
now
They were
if you
they were panhandle.
if
Remember?
you see at the real Etas or Negritos, they are not. They are their body is normal.
Now they're up from the mountains, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but they're real dark, and they speak a language nobody knows, right?
They have their own dialect.
Yeah, they have this, and then people don't know where it came from. You know what I mean? Because you're always like like Ilocano Spaniards have a big influence in that line, a big influence in that line. But the original Filipinos aren't from the Philippines. Well, I mean, they are, but they originally came from. God, I can't remember now. It's a
Me too. I cannot remember already. Actually, um, I learned that during my
I want to say
elementary
no. It's not.
times.
Okay,
But I've already get.
I'm gonna Google it, man. I'm gonna Google it.
We don't know. We don't know yet. Contest channel. No, it's not Portugal, Darren. It's Negritos, Etas. They are living in the mountain.
Hold on a second. This don't make no sense. It says the original habitats of the Philippines, known as the Aita and the Negrito,
Mm-mm.
are believed to have migrated from mainland Southeast Asia.
They have a lot of.
Possibly via land bridges during the Ice Age. They were earlier hunter gatherers who eventually developed agricultural skills. Later waves of Australians. You want to know some? They now that makes sense. Did you ever watch uh, like Australia and the native Australians, like was it Crocodile Dundee? Where that one Indian guy was his friend, and he had really dark skin. That's what they. That's what they resemble.
What's that good? That's good, Elvin. Getting some things done before
And they've
going.
been here. They came here dating about 47,000 years ago. That's a long time. Filipinos were heavy from what? Yeah, I heard that Weston
No
about
fit.
Texas, New Philippines.
Why?
Well, I don't know. Hey, Alvin, if you don't mind telling me, how old are you? I'm just curious because I've seen a picture of you sitting on something. It looks like a steps. You look, I mean, you don't look young, but you look like you're in your maybe 40s, maybe 30s.
Yes, he said he's a Mexican.
No, no, no. He's Puerto Rican.
Puerto Rico, yeah. He's a Puerto Rican.
Alvin, you ever been to Puerto Rico? Beautiful, beautiful country. Beautiful country. Been there a couple times.
Yes.
Yeah, I love Puerto Rico. I mean, one time we were on like a little yellow bus. You know what they all say about the tiny buses in the States? We were on that and we were going on this road. We were going to go do something. And we were on this road and it was nothing but forest or jungle, whatever you want to call it. And I was like, man, I said, do we have all the equipment we need just in case somebody decides to hijack us? We had Marines with us too, but yeah, we had to go up there and do some work. Beautiful, beautiful place. Beautiful country, man. It is beautiful. The electrical grid's not all that great, but people are wonderful there, man. Wonderful. What do you think?
I'm thinking my lunch. I'm hungry.
This is what Miles does, okay? I'm not making fun of her, okay, but let's be honest here. When she wakes up, okay, the only thing she's thinking about is when she could take a nap and what she's going to have for lunch. Then after lunch, she's thinking when she could take her nap and what she's going to have for dinner.
Yes, that's life.
I'll be like, at 8:30 in the morning, she'll say, Brent, what do you want for lunch? It's like, Miles, I'm not even hungry. What are you talking about? Me, I'm one of these guys, man. Give me a piece of bread, I put mayonnaise or whatever on it, I put something in and I eat. She wants to be all elaborate, you know? Miles stopped the therapy for now. That was her decision. That was her, right?
No.
What? The therapy.
Yeah.
You decided to stop it.
Yeah. For sometimes.
Well, you said no, making me look like a dirtbag. Like I've always told her, what you decide is between you and the therapist. I have nothing to do with it because I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I don't know.
I think I will start next month. Brent sitting on a sidewalk in Baguio when I visited the Philippines. This just just joking. You're sitting in a sidewalk in Baguio.
Am I?
Yeah.
When?
Have you been in Baguio?
No.
La,
He's being
Brent,
funny.
I want to visit in Baguio because since my mom gave birth me, I never been to Baguio. I never been to Baguio.
What's so great about Baguio?
Baguio, we call Baguio is a capital, summer capital of Philippines.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's cold. The weather there
Is it up in the mountains?
Yeah.
Yeah, she wanted to stop for a while. I don't know why. Or therapy, physical therapy.
Yeah.
Did you like it, Daryl? Baguio? Is that the mountains? Was that is it north or south of us?
South.
Okay, never mind. It's not the mountains. I'll be honest with you. I've been through Donner's Pass, and I've been through like the 4th of July, and the mountains. Okay, mountain passes stuff like that. Going through this mountain here makes me nervous
Yeah.
because the corners, man. It's not like in the states how it's a gradual. For most part, it's like a gradual turn. Here, whoom.
You remember when we went to Manila last time?
Yeah.
That there this is the national highway and this one going to Manila and there is a separate way going to Baguio. It's stay there.
You know what's really weird, okay? And I'm not saying they copied, okay, and I told you about this. When you going down the national highway, you go through a toll area, right?
Yeah.
Okay, right around Manila, outside. It reminded me, and people have been through there, especially like people like Elvin. The the tollway when you're going 95, when you're going into New Jersey on 95, the tollway there, that's what it reminds me. I don't know why, but it reminds me of it. And they actually got little areas where you can, like rest stops. which that one we always stop at, the one place that sells the fudge,
Mm-mm.
going to Manila.
In
All right,
Ilocos.
that yeah, it reminds me. I don't know why it just does. The express tollway or whatever you want. I can't remember the name of it now. Been up and down 100 million times. That's what it reminds me of.
I never been, Phoebe. I never been. Yeah, they said it's already congested now. A
Oh,
lot of
strawberries.
tourists.
I love strawberries.
Yeah. You can pick whatever what
Can you dip them in chocolate?
you can
No, I thought somebody was at our gate.
you
Funny
go
thing is,
you go
hey,
to the
hey, she'll deny it. And it won't happen to you guys if you come by and honk the horn. If you stay in your car, honk the horn, and just wave to the side that's facing the house, we're good. All right, but when you're gonna
people
get that.
person.
When people come to the gate, Miles like, what she does. So all of a sudden you see her go like this, and so slide down. She slides down in the seat.
Yeah, especially if it's
And then
stranger. I
if
don't
I'm in
know
the
those
kitchen or the
people.
bedroom and I hear Apple, Apple, right, and I come out to be like going, Miles,
I don't know
how
those
can I
people
say
who
this
do
without sounding like a jerk or making you sound? Miles picks and chooses who she wants to talk to, and she knows who she does want to talk to and who she doesn't want to talk to. Let me just say that much, okay? But it's funny. So slide. Well, you see him get down, and then look at you. All right, I'll stop. It's funny. It's almost like, remember growing up when your parents, like somebody come knocking on the door and say, don't answer the door. Or so slither off the couch. No, so slither off the chair
sit
and
down
get
like
on the
this.
couch. So
My
get on the
position
couch,
is
lay
like
there.
this. And then what? Apo! Until I'm crawling going to the
Yeah.
bedroom. No.
Like I said, she knows who she wants to talk to and she don't want to talk to. I ain't got a clue. I'll be the first one to tell you I ain't got a clue. So if she's sitting there going like this to me when I'm walking into the living room. Right?
Why entertain if, the people that I don't know? You're just wasting your time.
But like I said, it used to be like when you're growing up and when people actually were sociable and like the bill collectors come knocking at your house, your parents like, don't answer the door. Or the phone rings, I'm not home.
Hang
No, you don't hang
Kring,
up.
kring, kring,
No,
ako.
she's not here. And they're right next to you.
No.
No. And they're listening to the phone call, but they don't want to answer it. No, they're not here.
Especially if at the same color. No,
Nowadays, you got
I will
you got
hang up.
caller ID and stuff like that. So when we growing up at dinner time, my dad used to take the phone and take it off and put it up like that so nobody could call in. He said, we're eating now. We didn't have text. We were talking 70s. We didn't
Yeah,
have text or
you have the telephone that
the rotary dial phones.
yeah,
And we had a 10 or 20 foot long cord, that you can walk in the kitchen so you can walk like almost the whole house and still be talking on the phone. Yeah.
yes. You don't talk to the people
She's
that
saying,
you don't know. Yeah, he do the same.
I mean, I do the same.
He does the
That's
same
fine.
on.
Oh, so that's okay.
That's
So
Filipino.
we do the same thing in the States.
It's a Filipino.
You see who's coming up the door.
Take up.
Especially that one friend that you don't want to be friends with, but they're always coming to your house. Don't answer. Shh, be quiet. Shh. Yes, Myles is a wise woman. Yeah, homebody kind of woman. Yeah, Myles, that's funny. I'm not knocking her for it. It just reminds me of the stuff that I did when I was a kid. We did in our house. Our house was so dysfunctional growing up. But the things we did in our house, you know, you got to remember there was 6 kids, and we all hated each other. Yeah. I remember one time, my sister, one of my, I'm not going to say her name, got caught underage drinking, okay? And she had to pay a fine. Well, she didn't pay the fine. And the constable came to the house. And she did something early that day. I was like, okay, I'm going to get back at you. Well, guess what? The constable came to the house. My sister she saw who it was because, you know, the car and everything like that. She was hiding behind the door. He knocks on the door, I answer the door. She's like, I'm not here. I'm not here. She answers the door. I open up the door and says, yes. I said, how you doing? And he goes, I'm looking for a Tracy Manley. Oh, she's right here. I walked up. And then she wanted to go get a shower, and she wanted to put her makeup on, and the cop looked at her and says, you're not going to a fashion show, you're going to jail. You want to know something? It was my fault. Everything was my fault. I was like, no, I don't think so. She just pissed me off. Something happened earlier before that. She just pissed me off, and it was like payback time. You know? Our house was so dysfunctional, man. Our house was so dysfunctional. What memes? Okay, anything else? You want to go? You think you talked enough? Or you want to chat some more?
You chat us.
No. I can't do it without you. All right, man. Yeah, it's 2 hours. We only gonna do this like an hour, right? You know, I know we always say that, and it lasts because you guys people are great. Everybody interacts. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and close this out. I appreciate you. If you don't mind, give me a thumbs up before you bail. Appreciate you sticking around for. It's been over 2 hours, Myles.
Yeah.
2 hours. Yeah, and she's talking about lunch, so I know she's hungry.
Hungry.
So I'll go ahead and let you all go. But remember, be good to yourself, be good to each other, and try not to worry about the small stuff. I'll talk to you all later. Bye for now.
Bye.
Bye, Alvin. Nice talking to you, man.
Bye.
Darryl.
Darryl. Alvin.
Grammy's got a
Sandy.
groove on.
Sandy.
Homebody Hannah.
Misha.
Why don't you name some names here?
Phoebe. Homebody Hannah.
Of course, Darryl.
Yes.
The Westons. And I hope good things. I hope your wife's doing okay in
Camtes
California.
Channel. Evan Moss.
Beth Rubio, thank you.
What else?
Campus Channel, thank you, man.
Beth.
Beth,
Beth
I said
Rubio.
Beth.
Yeah.
There we go. I'm an amateur, leave me alone. All right, man. Bye for now.
Bye-bye.